The media greatly influences society. They inform people about what is happening. It permeates people's lives by creating their own criteria and opinions. In this way, the media moves the masses, creating different social movements.
For over 60 years, the people of Ambazonia were deprived of such privileges. The privilege to enhance their own criteria and opinion. They have suffered cultural genocide for 6 long decades, but not in this age and not with Undaunted-ABC Amba News on board.
You must understand that wars are fought and won in the media. The speed of the revolution on Ambazonia's quest for freedom cannot be explained without highlighting the diligent use of the media.
Franco-Cameroon colonizers, among other strategic moves, weaponized the media against Ambazonia for so long, and they continue to do so even today. The question would be, how much do the oppressed people of Ambazonia need to counter the media rage?
Indeed, how much more is required to stop the genocide? The carnage in Ambazonia didn't start today. In 1961, 1972, 1984, and 1992, Ambazonians were slaughtered in huge numbers and help was not forthcoming. Why? Because the oppressor was the piper in the media.
The good news is we have what it takes to dictate the pace.
Right now, ABC Amba TV is taking advantage of the wonders of multimedia aggressively
to inform the misinformed and disinformed with Undaunted and other revolutionary programs bringing it to the news untold stories.
Most importantly, to win the media war by taking ABC Amba TV into every multimedia platform.
In a word, where the importance of storytelling can never be overemphasized, Ambazonians has to tell her own story, not the other way round.
And like we say it always, Ambazonia must narrate her story accurately. We can do this together, you know, right? You are just a click away. Visit our website at www.abcambatv.com, and the steps are quite simple.
With just a click on the website, you can become a club member with so many benefits.
You can also make a one-time donation, advertise and showcase your goods and services at the marketplace on the website.
That was easy, right? You're welcome on board.
And thank you for opting for the winning team. The Amba War Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers?
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort? While our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
Are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we by providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory.
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Ambazonia die as a wish, because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.
From the Savannah to the Midland and the Atlantic, Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. Ambazonia rise.
Dear Ambazonians on the home front and diaspora.
Dear Ambazonia freedom fighters in the home front and in the diaspora.
The Ethics Commission of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is coming out to alert you that it is becoming more and more evident that the former British Southern Cameroons, aka Ambazonians, will soon emerge as the newest nation in the world.
We are calling on all of us to start preparing to receive Ambazonia as parents prepare to receive their firstborn child. Malcolm X said, tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. We are already very educated, talented, and very rich in natural resources. Do all this guarantee a safe and prosperous Ambazonia? The answer is an emphatic no. Theodore Roosevelt said, to educate a person in the mind but not in morals is to educate a menace in society.
Ambazonians, it is time to start planning to restore our cultural and social values that characterize us as a people of good repute. Before our Republic to Cameroon invasion, we were respectful of each other, of the law, and of our culture. We earned our living through honest hard work, making clean money for ourselves.
Our values helped us to maximize the benefits of our natural resources as well as our human resources. Southern Cameroons were serene and clean, simply beautiful in spirit and in the physical. We all long for such a place to call home, and we can make it happen by God's grace.
Our local government areas and counties, are you preparing? Do you have an ethics commission in your local government areas, counties to serve as a moral compass for you? Do you have a copy of the Ambazonia Ethics Code and the Constitution?
All arms of government, do you have an ethics agency? Departments of DSS, HSS, Communications and IT, Education, DHACM, DFA and DEINR. Do you have ethics agency to serve as a moral compass for your departments?
Ambazonians, you need to know your rights by reading the Ethics Code and the Constitution.
Shame unethical behavior and reward good behavior in your communities. Hold leaders accountable. Be the watchdog of your communities and governments. See something, say something.
The church, you are the main research center of moral principles with the responsibility of moralizing the society. How effective are you outside the church building?
Maya Angelou said, when you know better, then you do better. Ambazonians, watch ethics for an emerging Ambazonia every Friday at 10 p.m. Amba time.
welcome to this very special pre-draft show powered by, of course, Undaunted. I am Onyi Opmalen. Star Smart is here. Good evening, Star.
Good evening, Onyi. Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great moment for Manyu County, the moment you have all been waiting for. Before the pre-draft proper, let's talk a little bit about the political and social cultural organization link of the original
Position of the European colonial rule. The people were not united as one. They were scattered throughout the forest in many small separate settlements, with larger to have exceeded more than 2, much fewer. The Manyu communities were having dotted hamlets until Alfred Mansfield, the first German explorer, came into the area, and these hamlets were transformed into organized communities, which are reflecting present-day communities. What was really common with these communities was the characteristics, qualities, and attributes of the languages they spoke and their culture, which united and distinguished them from other tribes in the area. The Manyu society was a stateless society with a system of democratic government at the village level. The villages consisted of several lineages which were represented in the informal village council by lineage head. There also existed clans with clan councils, which were made up of the various village heads in the clan. It was by virtue of these that the Manyu during and after the colonial period were administered as different tribes with various villages and clans well mapped out. Manyu County is made up of about 233 villages divided as follows: Manfe Center having 11 villages, Upper Bayang having 80 villages, Eyumoyok having 63 villages, and Acquire with 99 villages.
The society was sedimentary or headless, if I should say, with loose hierarchical structures. The Manyu people thus had no paramount chief exerting control over large areas. With this system, the chiefs could do nothing without the representatives of the principal lineages. Manyu village were also independent from one another, which has made it difficult for one to proudly trace the origin of the different Manyu tribes. Linguistically, the Manyu people have been classified by various schools of thought as the Bantus, Semi-Bantus, and Bantoids. According to D.W. Crabb, the Banyag and Ayagam are linguistically grouped under the Bantu-speaking stock and four specific The media greatly influences society. They inform people about what is happening. It permeates people's lives by creating their own criteria and opinions. In this way, the media moves the masses, creating different social movements.
For over 60 years, the people of Ambazonia were deprived of such privileges. The privilege to enhance their own criteria and opinion. They have suffered cultural genocide for 6 long decades, but not in this age and not with Undaunted-ABC Amba News on board.
You must understand that wars are fought and won in the media. The speed of the revolution on Ambazonia's quest for freedom cannot be explained without highlighting the diligent use of the media.
Franco-Cameroon colonizers, among other strategic moves, weaponized the media against Ambazonia for so long, and they continue to do so even today. The question would be, how much do the oppressed people of Amazonia need to counter the media rage?
Indeed, how much more is required to stop the genocide? The carnage in Ambazonia didn't start today. In 1961, 1972, 1984, 1992, Ambazonians were slaughtered in huge numbers and help was not forthcoming. Why? Because the oppressor was the piper in the media.
The good news is we have what it takes to dictate the pace.
Right now, ABC Amba TV is taking advantage of the wonders of multimedia aggressively
to inform the misinformed and disinformed with Undaunted and other revolutionary programs bringing it to the news untold stories.
Most importantly, to win the media war by taking ABC Amba TV into every multimedia platform.
In a word, where the importance of storytelling can never be overemphasized, Ambazonians has to tell her own story, not the other way round.
And like we say it always, Ambazonia must narrate her story accurately. We can do this together, you know, right? You are just a click away. Visit our website at www.abcambatv.com, and the steps are quite simple.
With just a click on the website, you can become a club member with so many benefits.
You can also make a one-time donation, advertise and showcase your goods and services at the marketplace on the website.
That was easy, right? You're welcome on board.
And thank you for opting for the winning team.
And of course, you're still with the winning team. Sincerest apologies for that little break there. I'm sure that you all can hear us right now loud and clear. Before we went on that technical break, Star was talking to us about the society and how the sedimentary or how headless they were at the hierarchical structure.
Indeed, with the hierarchical structures. I was talking about the Manyu people who had no paramount chief exceeding control over large areas. With the system, the chiefs could do nothing without the representatives of the principal lineages. Manyu village were also independent from one another, which has made it difficult for one to proudly trace the origin of the different Manyu tribes. And I said linguistically the Manyu people have been classified by various schools of thought as the Bantus, Semi-Bantus, and Bantoids. According to D.W. Crabb, the Banyang and Ayagam are linguistically grouped under the Bantu-speaking stock and fall specifically under the Niger-Benue linguistic family. Pierre Talbot, on his part, classifies the Banyang and Ayagam of the Ekok main group under the Semi-Bantu stock, the two being considered as separate sub-language groups. The Banyang and Ayagam, like the Anyang and the Asumbo groups, are in some consideration linguistically the same group, especially as they have common identical cultural forms as well as socio-political organizations. With the Banyang and Ayagam, the people have two main dialects, the Banyang dialect Kenyang and the Ayagam dialect Kieka. The slight variation in these tongues help produce the different contacts with their different western, eastern, and southern neighbors. A number of sub-dialects have been produced within each of the main dialect groups. Thus, in the Banyang-speaking area, there is a distinction between Upper Banyang, Kenyang Mfai, and Lower Banyang, Kenyang Ntan sub-dialects. The description generally follows the topography of the area. The Upper Banyang land is located on a more elevated altitude and follows the orientation of the flow of the major rivers which waters the area. While the Lower Banyang land is located around the lower course of the Manyu River. The Lower Banyang is closer to the central Ayagam Keka, their immediate western neighbors. The above description corresponds with the slight variation in culture and certain words and expressions in the Kenyang dialect. The Upper Banyangs acquire some of their cultural values from which they also borrowed and derived some of their cultural institutions. The Lower Banyangs, who are closer to the Kiaka, with whom they have long been intermarrying, borrowed most of their institutions from them. Thus, it has become difficult to establish a demarcation line between areas of pure Banyang and Kiaka cultures in this zone. Here, the people understand both the Kenyang and Kiaka dialects, and some villages like Mbingjong, Mfuni, Ndekwai, Osing, and Talanganye are purely bilingual. Since the Upper Banyang and the Lower Banyang speak the Kenyang dialect as people of the same ethnic group, the linguistic variation is only slightly.
And of course, today is for Manyu. We have our news director, Tapati King, Dr. Anderson Kejang, Ma Sarah Fulbright, and Commander Willie, all from Manyu County. All right, before we get into the discussions proper with them, we have the news recap for the week. All right, so just in case you were not able to be part of the news during the week, well, you have this opportunity to get in tune with some of the stories we looked at during the week. But right about now, you need to sit down and listen to the economic feature of Manyu as recorded by Gab Ellison.
Ayumoyo Council. Brief presentation of Ayumoyo Council. The Ayumoyo Council is found in Manyu Division of the southwest region of Cameroon, situated some 45 kilometers from Mamfe, the capital of Manyu Division. The municipality is situated roughly between the towns of Ikom in Nigeria and Mamfe in Cameroon, and figuring as one of the border councils in the republic. It shares its western boundary with the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Akwaya lies in the north. Upper Bayang and Mamfe Central occupies the eastern boundary, while the south is shared with the Mudember and Toko councils. It covers a total surface area of approximately 3,442 kilometers square, benefiting 3 forest management units. Ayumoyok is about 300 kilometers from the southwest capital Boya. The Ayumoyok municipality has 68 villages, 63 villages and 5 urban spaces: Abakpa, Abat, Afap, Agborkem, Jamen, Ajaman, Ayayundip, Akwa, Akwen, Araru, Ayaoke, Ayukaba, Babi, Babong, Bajo, Bakogo, Bakut, Bakwele, Basu, Bayenti, Baib, Arsibong, Baib Osing, Binder, Ebam, Ebinsi, Ekogate, Ekok, Ekon Manawa, Ekon Manayong Are, Ekongate, Esegim, Etikem, Ewele, Eyang Amanga, Eyumayok, Inokun, Kembong, Kuri, Mbakang, Mbagem, Mbatop, Mbeyan, Mbida, Tabo, Mbobwi, Mbofong, Mfuni, Mbakati, Mpot, Ndebaya, Ndekwai, Ndwap, Nkogo, Njeke, Nkemechi, Nsanakang, Nsanaragati, Ntenako, Ogomoko, Ogurang, Okoroba, Okurikang, Okuri, Onaku, Osele, Osing, Otu, Tavo, Talangai, Abakpa, Avat, Afab. The estimated population is about 7 to 8,000 inhabitants, constituting one ethnic group, Ejagam, split up into 3 clans. The clans are Central Ejagam, Njemaya, and Obang. Besides these 3 clans, other groups of people resident in this area, and they include the Northwesterners and Nigerians. Nkembong was seen to have the highest population, with about 9,000 inhabitants, and followed by Osing with about 6,000 inhabitants, and the least populated village was Abapa with about 40 inhabitants. It was also noted that the Central Ejagam clan was the most populated, and then the Ejagam Njemaya, and the least populated clan was the Obang. Gab Ellison reporting for Undaunted-ABC Amba News.
Alright, so draft. Today we draft for Manyu. Today we'll begin what we have to show, of course, while drafting, what we are made of, as well as what we believe in. But before, like we said earlier on during our introduction, before we get into the pre-draft show, let's give you the recap.
And during this week, we looked at, has it that another phone has been kidnapped in Boom local government area, Manyu County? Would like you to see this picture of the phone.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amba TV.
Right there was the picture of the phone who was kidnapped in the course of the week.
Alright, last week, by this time we had the Mazam County groundbreaking draft. Of course, they set the pace last Saturday with a whooping sum of 251 dollars. And it was raised last Saturday by Mighty Mason with support from all other counties that made up the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Of course, it was a milestone in the liberation struggle, as this guarantees a way forward to gain our freedom as far powers will increase at the home front. The Mason County draft is a proof of decisiveness and the resolve of Ambazonians to gain total control of homeland, and this grand success is a big shame to La République du Cameroon and the coup plotters and their allies that collected blood money from La République through, of course, their Kun pastor Christopher Arnoux, who was paid to destabilize the Ambazonian liberation fight by spreading lies about President Sako.
Meanwhile, talking about the president, in his keynote address at the MESM Draft Award ceremony, the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, was emphatic and he said, "We are footing it bravely to Buea. We will fight till total independence of Southern Cameroonians. God help us."
The voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amba TV, the voice of Ambazonia. Stay tuned.
Alright, so it is now clearly obvious that the colonial president, Emmanuel Macron, whose eminent visit to Cameroon has been announced both by the mainstream and social media from July 25th to 27th, 2022, and he has a main point on the agenda, which is to ensure that the octogenarian dictator Paul Biya, who has been in power since 40 years, be succeeded by his son Frank Biya. Alright, to this effect, the president of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, has something, and he says everyone should sit at home. Let's hear it directly from the president's voice.
Fellow Ambazonians, this is an announcement declaring 3 days national lockdown from Monday the 25th to Wednesday the 27th of July 2022. This lockdown has to do with the visit of President Macron to La République du Cameroon. We all know that the war between La République du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is a proxy war fought by the French, our true warriors, our true enemies who are fighting us. Behind the shadows are the French. Mr. Macron, the president of France, is therefore the real perpetrator of the genocide that has been declared on our people, and he is visiting neighboring La République du Cameroon to review, encourage, and visit his troops, his genocidal troops. Ambazonia is not invited to that inglorious occasion, except for one blackleg, Mr. Frundi, who has been invited to represent himself. We in Ambazonia, all Ambazonians, we will use these 3 days to mourn. The whole territory of Ambazonia should observe these 3 days as mourning days. We want to mourn our more than 45,000 innocent souls that have been brutally slaughtered by the French paid armies of La République in our country. And this genocide is ongoing. We are mourning. Our territory will be in complete lockdown. Our borders, especially with La République, shall be locked down, shall be closed during this time. We are calling on Mr. Macron to tell his handlers to meet us as quickly as now for a meaningful negotiated settlement to this war that is devouring our people unjustly. During these days, these 3 days, all forces are put on notice. All Ambazonian restoration forces should do everything to enforce this order nationwide and make sure that our borders with La Republique are closed, so that if by any means Mr. Macron on his way from France or on his way to Benin flies over our airspace, he should be able to see that Ambazonia is mourning. And even if he does not see it, that his own press in Yaoundé and his intelligence services in his embassy should be able to communicate to him clearly where the state of Ambazonia and what is happening right now. This is the right thing to do, and may God continue to protect our country. God bless you.
All right, you're welcome back. With so much excitement here from the Undaunted Studios, we are pleased to inform you that the Zoom link is now open and the Zoom room is also open for you all who are interested and who are ready to draft, to go in and do the needful. All right, but before we get into that, we have our news director, Tapadi King. We have Dr. Anderson Kejang and Marcel Fulbright. They are here this evening, and we have lots and lots of discussion to handle this evening. Over to you, Mr. Ta.
Yeah, good evening, Onye. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, if you can hear me, thank you very much. Manyu, I want to be sure that Dr. Kajan, Mas Sarah, and Commander Willie are all connected. If they are connected, just let me know. That is just so amazing. Good evening, fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for starting this pre-draft show a little bit late. I want to say thank you all for joining in and wanting us to have this discussion. Masera, Elunoma, it would appear Masera is disconnected, but I will start with you right away, Commander Willie. You have to do this really quickly, and then I'll try to get Masera reconnected so that she can talk to us as the people of Manyu are watching. But you happen not just to be the county chair of Manyu, you are also directly involved with self-defense at the home front. You are involved with ensuring that whatever the president declared should be enforced on the ground. And we've just listened to that. It's one of the reasons why Ambazonians want to draft, so that the boys can have logistics to make things happen on the ground. Please, do you want to talk to us very quickly about that? Thank you. Commander Willie, please.
Yes, yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to Homefront and to all the freedom fighters. On behalf of the interim government, headed by President Dr. Samuel Sako Ikome, we want to greet all the freedom fighters in Homefront and abroad. We want to take time for salute all man, all woman, all picking them, where they did for Homefront, one do they fight, one they know the fight, one they greet una, and for refugee camps. One day bring on an announcement, say today na Manyu County World Draft Day. But before we start with the World Draft for Manyu County, we will talk to a concern for federal level. President Sako, under the interim government, headed by President Samuel Sako Ikome, he don't declare 3 days goes down. That is on Monday, July the 25, on Tuesday, July 26, and on Wednesday, July 27. This goes down for home front, not for punish we. Now for make La Republique and France, may they know who they control home front. Because La Republique and France, they always say they don't know who to talk to. And when water don't stop, it don't stop for reach white man in nose. When I see white man go come out for a chair, go calm down. I see when water it don't start reach white man in nose. The heat way forces them for home front the game for France and for La Republique. When I don't see for how many for the 100 years. When I don't see no president for white man country come out for Africa, for can't see president for Africa or any president. They go send the ambassadors, they go send a special invoice. But when I don't see how Macron don't come up for France, it come. Now because the resistance we put them for home front as a team, the money we will draft them for the whole world. You don't make them, why man don't shake. When I don't see how Coca-Cola company, when I don't see how Guinness company for La Republique they close. Guinness, the highest maker of that Guinness beer, when I don't see they close down. When they close, in our economy sabotage that. Those French people they make 10 billion a year or a month, they're not gonna make them again. They're not gonna get job again. Next year, we had a company for phone them and electronics, they close too as such. When I don't see and say we don't hang for their neck. When I don't see for your own, they even gas, they know they get gas again. When I see all players be confused, delocalized, and distorted. We don't give the heat for La Republique. Now, hungry, when I don't see how hungry, it catch them. We know they never make sure go again for them. Cocoa, coffee, everything when I don't see. When I don't see how we don't put a ban for buses, them 13, 14, 15, 17, 100 seater buses, them 70 seater buses, they made they no go again for made they know they can't carry passengers. They go. We will still get to dazzle a strong head. In the days ahead, we will light them up. Yes, we'll get a message. Message 1111. When I come to Victoria, when I the city, we come for tell when I say all the syndicate chair people them and the syndicate directors them. When I go make sure say no bosses them they come pack for when I pack. If you be say you leave bosses they come pack for your pack, therefore you go regret your own life. Now these 3 days goes down. Now how we go do them? We no go want to catch any fly, but to fly anything where airspace, where land, where water, it go be locked and closed and sealed. Now, fight and for ground, when I go take advantage now, when I go rally those way they be against the struggle, those enablers, when I go wipe them out. CPDM, they did for our disposal. And for these 3 days, before the 3 days one end, when I make sure say those administrators and French administrators they will say may they leave, they never leave. We don't give them time, the time don't reach. When I make sure say at least for your neighborhood, when I corroborate them before they even open their eye. Maybe we take this time for draft Manyu County. Today na Manyu County Day. One to thank all Manyu people them and thank all ambassadors them. We for diaspora we go draft and draft. Those for home front when I already draft. When we call ghost town, when I respect them, we call boycott. When they already draft in our life, when they draft on a behavior for boycott all our public things them, and when they draft for interim government, as when they be aligned with interim government. When interim government say make we go right as a team, all of us will go. It say make we go left, and all of us will go. President Samuel Sarkozy come here, he think of our safety and our prosperity before he make a decision. You know they make them alone. He make a decision with respect to the LG chair people them and the county coordinators them, alongside House of Reps. So today the Manyu World Draft Day. Make we come join us, make we draft. Make a talk for Ejakam Obayangi. Vo Manyu make Kaweka, Nina Chiwili, Chi County Coordinator for Manyu. And Ejakam, Kumke Kubwen, the county coordinator Kam Manyu. Ege are Manyu County World Draft. Eki wam se unaba chembi unakala wet. Se konji, enokanok. Mowa Manyu. And nembare titika mowa Manyu. Make a Manyu, unaki yokam. Von tui fam, ogbe, unaki yokam. Una chembi unakala wet, enokanok. Phone me are the +1 82 754 4240. Telephone number me are the +1 832 754 4240. Wo Manyu, nkakaweka nina chiwili chikauti konita for Manyu. Ne se no mesinga for Manyu. Se yang be mankwak beka. Mankwak bese. Se yang be bakwak bese ne nkap. Chemti nkap to ne yo. Se no. Mbaka yang che Manyu nkap. Phone number wachi +1 832 754 4240. Sending what tokan and cap subsing. Watch out for Manyu. Say young my favorite won't go for Manyu. Manyu people them when I go help us, when I go put money, all Manyu groups to them, when I go put money, make we take them for evacuate this people for our land. We already send it out of Manyu. We don't send out of Manyu. When I see last week how they wanted to send them to go for Akwaya, they be ambushed for road, 11 they die, 8 they be wounded. So that we pick Una see her for acquire, the born Janamari for acquire, the wipe Janamari station for acquire, the wipe them all. Una see her from Manyu last month. Una see her from Manyu, they kill more than 6, wound more than 7. For instance, when I see her army, they vex, they go born man for hospital. They warn about start. The challenge we get from Manyu, this is a fact. The challenge we get from Manyu, we'll get more fighters than from Manyu, more than the material we'll get. We'll get more fighters from Manyu, more than the material. Material now waiting granite and guns. Fighters are plenty past the material. So when I can put money, make we take them, push Manyu forward. Over to you, Mr. Paddy.
I will. Commander Willie, I will. I am heavily informed that Masera is here. As we all know, Masera, Ejina. Okay, you're welcome. This is quite instrumental. Masera is the chairperson for Manyu Central, and I understand that officials and executives of the Manyu are needed right now for the Zoom. So I would like you, Ma, you know what, just give to us your minutes to give to us some details on the preparedness of GA and the county. So I would stay with maybe Dr. K handle the rest of the discussion. Go back to join the Zoom. Thank you.
Okay. Greetings to everybody. Chairman, Dr. Kejen Mowa, thank you. Anyway, I will speak in Pidgin and also in Bayangi. I will be in and out. So I just want, when you talk of to be prepared for, I think we are because where we are going. And I come for greet everybody, the farmer, the fighters, we are mammy them for ground, they try, they help for for help we are fighters, for feed them, even with 1 cup gari when they see them. Now they are own support that. And I come here as a woman. I don't think say any for Manyu, any woman, we don't come for TV. He address, this struggle as a woman. So I beg, when I bear with me, I not be TV person, I not somebody where it give presentations, but I go talk out of my heart as a woman, as a mommy from Manfe town. I was born and bred. They born me for Manfe, I grow for Manfe, I come out for Manfe, I come America. I come America about 37, 38 years ago. I was a girl. But as this struggle come, some people, they feel say they here, they be comfortable, which they are. But hey, where you come from, home na home. But I come for mommy them. Say me as a woman, Manfe Pikin. I come for tell una say this fight, me I no go be here. I no dey here because I feel comfortable. My pikin dem dey here, my family dey here. I forget una. No, na because of una where I join this fight. My mommy no dey for Manfe. I no dey for Manfe. I no get nobody for Manfe. But you know wetin? My placenta is dey for Manfe. As I hear say this struggle, neighbors, my neighborhood self where I grow there, they say people, they know they again. That one pain me. So as a woman, I did see how we are picking, they did die. People then where I know, people then where I don't know, papa then where I know, papa then where I don't know. That one hurts me. So I come today for talk as a woman, say this struggle, we women the way we carry for 9 months. No matter how old that pikin don't be, na pikin. Even as I did like this, if my mommy for be alive, if they call me say mommy. So when we see young kids, they kill them. They kill them for security, for their own thing, for their own country. We say no. Some of us will say no. You know go waka. But we put together. So mommy, plenty talk they outside there. Wait who they but what it happen, who it follow, where the struggle to go, it go. Una all una know the truth. Some of una know the truth. And I want una listen to me. Say this struggle, it go for the right place. We are president, Dr. Sako, na ye be we are umbrella where it direct us and na boya with the head, with the go. We know where else. Now, ye for every government where we dey under ye, under a umbrella, na boya with the go. More than no, she don't dey. You say, oh, now this person, because he come out from my village, now ye I go follow. No, for fight, for war, struggle. You the follow na struggle. You know the follow individual. Me, even if na my papa be alive today, he want be president. Then I see the side where he go, it not be correct for you people. I go say no, I know they follow you. So my mommy them more una open una ears, una open una eyes with almost day there. Yeah, when they night be we a problem. And we don't tackle them. We dey hold them. I beg, I just beg more una continue for begin do what you wanna do. Yeah, when they don't stand up now with the one leg, now one leg is stand on. So, hey, all of us will come together, we'll go put it down. Who be ever know say when you open mouth for talk about Yaoundé, Yaoundé go shake. Who be ever, but you know what? Now we this will talk about Ambazonia today. Them they shake. So I did tell you all, mommy, them suffer. We know una they suffer. War, it brings suffer. Maybe now who been bring una war. Na beer bring una war. That's why some of us will jump in. So move fight for una. We not go stop. We stop today. The one the way they don't kill them. They will come back. We stop today. The one the way they live for refugee camps. They will come back. Even if they come back, houses they don't burn them. We say they go. So papa, my mommy them and my papa them. I beg keep una ears open, keep una eyes open. See where this struggle it go for the right place. We don't almost be there. So more I no hear nothing. Mommy them, I get to advise you like picking way it grow for inside Manfe. More I keep eyes on for picking, especially little girl. Because me, I grow up for Manfe. Like I say, I come for America. Me, I be the wake up that time Manfe day. I be the wake up morning time. Go sell corn. Then I can't go school. So more I keep eyes. Now the country, Manfe Manyu day again like it used to be. Like I know say na business they keep where mommy them. Now business when you send small girl picking, make it go sell something. Drag her ear door. Make it stand for person in the door. Me no go inside. A lot of raping is because little girls are out there trying to sell, survive. So more I keep eyes that all that what I fit tell una like mommy, like picking where it like that. Manfe no, it don't change. Manyu don't change. For this, the lockdown, 3 days it no go kill una. Una don't suffer for 5 years. 3 days it no go kill una. Una listen to this lockdown where President Dr. Sako don't put them out there. I beg when una hear instructions from us, una listen, una ask, where it come from. Because plenty talk it dey outside there. But if you dey for this struggle, you know which one you go listen to. So I come for tell all the mommy them, all the Manyu people, say mona come Make we join hands. Make we finish this war. War start from Mafe. Now, no. It start from Mafe where Dio, it should pick. It should begin. People they start run for go Nigeria for refugee camp. Kembong, they burn houses. No nothing at one. Una one be with somebody. Now say you go treat una. So mami them, my Manyuans, my Mafe people are back. See the hospital. When me sit up, I born my picking them from Mafe Hospital. Mafe Hospital where people they come out all over. They come from Mafe Hospital. Who born them? La Republic. Na person that una want to stay with them, una ask yourselves. I know as it happened, it pain all of us. It pain all of us because that hospital, it pain all of us. I know some people that they come out, they say, oh, more raise money, more build hospital. They build hospital during war. The person who born the hospital, not be still there. So La Republic would get to kick them out. Hospital will go build hospitals, will go build roads, will go build schools them where we are picking to go. And when they go school, they come, they get jobs. Nobody say picking go school, they come, it's done for house. With you where you don't spend, you don't sell your plot where you get, you sponsor picking for university. You go come back and no go get job. So mommy them, papa them, my Manyu people. Now all that we cry for una. Now all that we dey here for una. Our AROFs, they did it for down. Una see them, una give them even a cup of gari. Now una own support that what we want from una. If una see somebody bad way, if they look for them, una hit them. Say make they no go that side. Bad person is there for that side. Now una support that what we want from una. Over to you, Mr. Pade.
Ma sera aweo akafulu. Wono luma wi wono tong si kenyili ni sepie me don ka lina giano nka wuli ani be nuno esi baha wa forces Cameroon li atwo meleto ake ataha brank. Thank you very much. I was just speaking in Kendem. For those who did not understand, I'm a son of Kendem from Upper Bayang, and I was just summarily reflecting what Masera was talking to us there. And she gave to us, particularly the youths, the reasons why we've got to engage in this draft aggressively. And she said some things which I may want to give as a recap. She said, even if we stop, what are we going to do with the houses that have been burnt? What will we do with the lives that have been lost? If we stopped, and even if Jesus returned because of a purported normalcy, how can their lives be restored? Those were critical questions that we would have to ask ourselves when we, if any moment that we want to give our draft. This Saturday is Manyu, my own very county. That is where I hail from. And it's very special. Every other thing I've been doing very specially. I've participated in every county and I've done everything to make sure that the draft of every county is a success. For those of you that are enjoying the work that we do with Undaunted, it's a time for you to come to Manyu and support. At least if you want to support me, yes. Support the Undaunted crew is me. So you want to support us? Yes. Come and support us. Manyu, I will. Manyu, I will. Manyu. Vrunta. If Dr. Kejan is there, Dr. Kejan, let me come to you. Dr. Kejan is the director of cabinet at the office of the president, and he's also an official of my country. I would like us to work out to liberate Masara. Masara is needed now in this room. The only person I want to still keep here is Commander Willie because we have some two things we want to talk about. Dr. Kejan, please, it is your turn to talk. Technicians, work out a way to eliminate Masara from the four of us so that she can go. She's highly needed. I've been quoted now because she is still here. Please just bring Dr. Kejan. Dr. Kejan, talk to us now, please.
Yes, hear me? Do you hear? Hello, Paddy?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank Masara, thank the Undaunted team, and thank Willie for summarizing everything about it. I come from Akwaya. Akwaya, you guys had a lot of things that are happening in Akwaya. Akwaya, I'm from Akwaya South, principally from the Takamanda area, where you had that an obituary where they killed almost about civilians who finally escaped to Nigeria. So those group of guys who came from all over, maybe sent by La Republic to go and slaughter our people, and La Republic went back to bring them back from Nigeria into Njashu, which is Oboni, I think two, because we have three Oboni, Oboni one, Ube, Oboni two. That is where my grandmom comes from. Awancho, Oboni I think Oboni two, Oboni three is Awancho, Oboni two is two. I also come from the area of Kajifu, Ebinsi, Bakem, all those areas. In fact, I speak Boki because my grandmother comes from Boki area. We have about 8 to 9 villages of Boki in Akwaya, and we have the rest. Majority of it is Yang, or we speak Denyang, Mekende. If you can hear, you go to Manyu, the Mekende is where I come from. So I am actually very happy to appear here today. You guys, even the director of cabinet at the presidency, this is not something which just come very easily because Sako has entrusted in me. He knows we started fighting this struggle right about 2 years ago. That's when I started fighting this Southern Tanzania revolution 22 years ago, when I was almost at my mid-year, almost about slightly above the mid-year. I'm almost 46 years today, and this year. So I can tell you that because I was because of this struggle in Boya. They thought that this will die. Unfortunately, we are here. And this draft, I want to encourage everybody from Manyu, anybody from Manyu, and the whole of Amazonia. We are not only fighting this struggle only on one county, but all the counties are fighting the revolution. I have to remind us that this revolution started in Nakwaya, Dadi, and Dadi is, I speak a language of Dadi, which is Boki, is what in Boki local government, if I can say, call that a precinct or whatever. We have Akwaya local government. Akwaya big that I don't even know every village because we have 99 villages stretching from Nsanakan towards Agbokum waterfalls to the north, towards Kumbo or whatever that is. So you can see Akwaya is so big with different tribes. Where we heard about the Oliti people in Akwaya, where they are slaughtered by some of those other tribes there because of the parliamentarian who is there, who was never voted in Akwaya, by the way, went to actually massacre, plan the La Republic, and some of those called the vigilante to slaughter our people and even kill some of our own forces. So it is high time that we of the interim government intervene in this issue, because the narrative in which they are saying is that Akwaya people is in tribal war. There is no war. They're constantly discussing with the people on the ground, and they have been telling me of stuff of what is going on. They want to eliminate the oligarchy, which is because they are supporting this revolution. Let me remind, initially, the whole of Akwaya, especially Akwaya, support of this revolution. But because of politics of La Republique, they have to sell La Republique, maybe a parliamentarian, to go there and galvanize the other people, other tribes, to eliminate the Olito and some other people who are supporting. So it is highly imperative for us, the international government, again. Let me speak in Pidgin. My papa and my mommy them for Manyu. Today now, if you want say those number of people, thousands of people from Manyu, where the first gunshot, they come out from Manyu. So come on. But my daddy, by Jumile, by Mona Nigeria, by Jumile, Berlin, Umwembu, the Maliku, la Republic of Belva Kulikate. Now, Bona, Momolinda, Nigeria, Momoli, Angela, Molemanyu, or Belva Chive support. The lockdown over for Vanavanic, say, or Bebe Mungo Benware, the diplomatic, offensive. Live a calamity, okay, and Kina Bay, key. So that I never could take you. That is Buki. Boya, Ntamenuge, Boya Ntamenu, Manuna, Anderson. And Kaluna Kurutua, Ota Legasa, Ota Lemaku, Ota NBC, One Bamboo, Otane Otane Boka, Otane Daji, Otane Bodam, Otane Boni, Boni, where I want to obey. Nje Mfakwe, Pa Busimo, Abianya. Yes, sir. So that it should it support the internal government. Basa lo in Nigeria, Alil Missa, Abinu Amme, the poor Mbona Saka Kuruchoma, if man chair bonka, you know, a boy after man, Germany, internal government. The internal government. And the city little money, the community web opposition and internal government. The person in time of Cocoino from and the Marco. A Saka Kurichumbama, a Chunka, a peer support bomman. If you will support bomman, a Sakako, Ribbon Beno,
Yeah.
So,
thank you, man.
From here, we can be discussing as time goes on. We don't spend all the time and
yes, thank you. Thank you. I will. Manyu mandudu nga kendam. Nile ka onyiwo abang liaki agi. Nile ka onyiwo ashu liagi. Nile ka no la Republique military anagi ave mo lengwi tas na biom neni. Nile no si bon for torobo. Mulia avenu mulia tuolu no abamapie kinyingli nu fbe e pe silinu la République du Cameroun na lo problème wi mangati wo nanye ne kinyingli ni sirpie mele chenka alie anyivi na ndivi ni legie de netum dunyantri mulia apie kinyingli apie yanti ke muli agu ke nyingli agu ebe wolu gunde ne manjati wona piende o firi pie mele pieno brawi apo giankam. I was just giving a brief resume of some of the things that we might have lost during this struggle. Some are watching whatever is happening to them. It's just some movie. If perhaps you have not lost somebody in your family, I have particularly lost at least 3 brothers in the world in this war. I'm talking about those who took the responsibility on the home front or at the home front. They've lost their lives. So I was giving that reality for those who know. We have some defense officials who are very much aware of some of the damage that we've experienced for a long time. And that's quite pathetic. Just to add my voice with what Commander Willie was saying, this is we need to draft. We have to draft like we've never drafted before. It's better for us to take that really very seriously. We have to draft like we've never drafted before. I'm not just calling this because I'm from Manyu or because I'm from Upper Bayang. I'm saying that the same problems that are faced in Manyu, in Upper Bayang, are the same problems that are faced in Mezam. And in this grandeur, in this attitude, in this master of premium strategy that has been introduced by the president, the Amba Peace Plan, where every county will have to come together to mobilize resources for one another. Today is a day for Manyu. Like Dr. Kejam said, the war started in Manyu. We saw our brothers mounting the courage to face the occupational forces. I have 3 brothers, 3 cousins who do in the early days in 2017, 2019, when it was not an obvious to see anybody pick up arms. These young men took the responsibility to fight, and today there are no more. Do we stop because we've lost some more? I do not think it's right. Their blood will be on our head if we stop this fight any day soon. We cannot go backward. We cannot go behind. Anytime we look backward, we're seeing their blood. Anytime we look backward, we're seeing 45,000 individuals that have lost their lives. 45,000 of our citizens. It was in the village of Kendem, where my parents hailed, that a child was fried in palm oil. In the village of Kendem. And what happened? This child was fried in palm oil by the forces of occupation from La République to Cameroon, simply because the parents, after doing palm oil, they ran into the bushes when they saw the gendarme. The gendarme picked up a baby that could not run and fried it. If there's any reason why you have to draft for Manyu today, it's at least for that baby that was fried in palm oil. Right now, I want to come to Commander Willie as we conclude this segment. Commander Willie, we need enforcement on the ground. Our people need inspiration on the ground. You've just told us right now that what you have more soldiers than you have logistics on the ground. You want to enforce a little bit more on that? Talk to us a little bit more about this so that we will inspire stakeholders as they get into the Zoom link to draft. And before that, I want to thank all. Okay, just take that and then I'll conclude and thank our anchor ladies and thank board members for what they are doing. Take the floor, Commander Willie, please.
Yes, to read long time short, we'll go back to Manyu Zoom for receive our members and our guests them for Manyu County Forum. When stranger they come for your house and your people they come, you know what come on leave them. So for that reason, we ask everybody, say maybe we can help for draft support Manyu, maybe we come with the numbers, when I help put financial resources, make we take them for buy materials, send them for ground, so that make we are men and women them, when they restore Ambazonia, may they take and hold this struggle fine. Make we not forget that of they try all way for choke Manyu, but we know they give them a gap. They don't try for many instances for choke Manyu, give them that breathing space. As Manyu people them, we know when ability, as Ambazonia people them, we ask when I say when I come, make a rally, put money, make it go down for home front. Now all of money, you go make them we go liberate ourselves. Make we not forget, some of who would say now that one thing. Every day for America, one man country for 100 of years. If we not push this thing forward and make we liberate ourselves, the enemy, he go take advantage, he go check it away. By the way, make I give some hint where they for home front day. We get bush hunter where they for Indian. It gather men them for take and for go president for Macron. So it full some fighters and for Indian. So Indian fighters they when I go arrested for that side for the country. It don't be for there for a while. It be undercover. It call boys them and women them. So they lay their arms down. So they go carry them, send them for Yaoundé. Then when Macron come, they go present and send a fighter and they don't desert from the struggle, so that they will get him for talk. Number two, the other men for Northern Zone, some fighters they will come so they can't join and can't fight, for can't attack the Republic again. Some of the fighters they don't go for Nigeria. When they come back, maybe we don't accept them again. Some of them they don't go when they come back, we don't accept them again. The Republic don't pass go for Nigeria. They don't give some fighters the money. Say maybe they come back, play low, say that they can't join for attack army. They can be like spy. So when they will come, they're gonna not accept them for nothing at all. When I get an assignment at hand, for the pastor they arrest them, Pastor Roland, when they arrest them, from Quen, he never be released. We don't ask and say the restitutional forces and the commander them for that area, when I go arrest all our public agents from Quen as such. The man of God not be arrested, I will not know how they and the people for that environment. As a republic, if they kill us, they go, we not go leave them. They don't show us how to do economic sabotage. They don't bomb our houses and bomb our everything. We not go leave them. Whatever they do to us, we go do them exactly what they do for us. Men no man no fear, she shake no day. So I want to go fool no grammar. Now, I will say this in English. President Macron, your visitation in Cameroon doesn't have nothing to do with Ambazonia. Whatever document you sign is dead upon arrival. Whoever left Southern Cameroon go to Yaoundé to go meet President Macron to sign any document or to sign any contract, that contract is non-binding. We will assume and assure that you're just going to eat salad with President Macron or to drink whiskey and wine. We Ambazonians are not drunkards as the French people do, where they drink and dine on wine. You've come to Amin and see how poverty is killing us in Southern Cameroon. We're not going to fall for that. And as such, our borders will be closed, so that we control the land. You always go around saying that you don't know who to talk to. Thank God I've given you 3 days grace period to come stay in La Republic of Cameroon, so that the neighbor of Ambazonia, that way you see those who are controlling Ambazonia. When you live for those 3 days, you know that President Sako, the president of Ambazonia, is the one controlling 100% of home front. So when you go back to United Nations, you'll not be able to mix words that you don't know who to talk to. You're in Africa now. Shine your eye and take a look in the neighboring country, Ambazonia, and see it for yourself. Ambassadors are not going to fall for that. You can invite all our Republic people, agents, like Nijong Frundi. Nijong Frundi is not one of us. I knew a long time ago. He's an Ewondo man hiding in Southern Cameroon. He's not one of us. You might call him to go eat salad with him. Whatever document you sign is dead upon arrival. That of Bala, that of Fontaine-Niba, anybody that goes sign document with you, is signing it at their own risk. It's dead upon arrival. So whatever you sign is not binding. If you come to Cameroon, install anybody, it's not binding. If you come to Cameroon, release anybody, it's not binding. You can release and release and release. If you do not release all the people you've captured and kept in French Cameroon military jail, they will not going to be happy. You have to release everybody and let us go to our own country. We have a country. You cannot stay in France and be controlling people. It doesn't work this way. For all people staying in French Cameroon, all Ambazonians staying in French Cameroon, I will say it again. I don't tell when I say when I bonbon on houses for French Cameroon. When I check out the economy, when I check out everything, even why they want to cut them. When I go come back from Ambazonia, they don't only born on our own house. Before I want to live for French Cameroon, when I burn the houses in two. Even when they die, when I come back from Ambazonia, I don't say when I no get house, then two for them, they no get house. Or when I for Douala on the Francophone region them, when I have Ambazonia, they don't bonbon on a village them, Kiku and Mami them. Maybe when I not forget, even I come back home and dry. They will remain close. We no go catch nobody release them. Fighter them will not catch anybody release them. We no dey for catch and release. With the tank when as President Sako the match boya, with the more draft for Manyu County, need you go put your phone number all online and have for draft option A, option B, option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Option 1 and Manyu County account you go flash for screen, you go see them. Option 2, you will see Europe account, Asia account, Canada account. They get various options. So you will see. So where you put money for Manyu County, Right as a Manyu County, you say they go for federal government and then we will take the money. They will give you many options for screen. If you get out, call the number first. You confirm them before you put like the no can give you in the law. So now so we back when I make when stay focused. So rally resources for Manyu and use them for 2 weeks for be useful. The whole thing now for this war. 9% of this war now economic sabotage. Say we will not forget. We no one catch no freshman inside for the drive for inside Amazonia. We no one catch no foreign license plate. We no one catch no 18, no all the 18 wheeler them. We no one catch them. All these bosses and we no one catch them. So fight them, we will reinforce them and we will thank una for our services and sacrifices. So I go to left now for go join Manyu County Zoom for receive people that they come. When people they come for house, we know they feel live them as strangers. We thank una all, me una bring una money. Fight at the plenty. Pass the money we receive them. When I bring money, each fighter for Manyu, he holds stick for hand. Each fighter for Manyu, he holds resources for hand. To God be the glory. We thank una all, we thank our vice president. We thank our vice president. We thank Mr. Paddy. I know we call plenty names them. But we thank una, may una stay blessed. Until then, now una save and willie.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tara. Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson Keja. Thank you so much, Master Ralph Bright, and of course, Commander Willie. Commander Willie, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that we are ready. Star, are you ready?
Indeed.
All right, and so we are all ready to draft for Manyu County. I'm sure Mr. Ta has one or two things to say before we go to the Zoom room.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me now? I want to be sure that you can hear me now.
Yes, yes, yes. We can hear you now.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Commander Willie. Thank you, Masera. Thank you. Without any waste of time, I want to thank all those who are participating on Facebook and are watching us right now on Facebook. I deeply appreciate every contribution and everything you've done to make sure that we get to where we are right now with this. I'm asking those who are watching us to connect Zoom. I'm actually looking at the Zoom now. The numbers are rising. We want it to go to its maximum. Get to the Zoom right now. I want to thank the bot members and club members for doing what they're doing for Undaunted. I'm sure you like the way Onye, Okpala, and Star Smart are representing. This is all based on your efforts. You're making it possible. We are representing ourselves the way we want it, and that's quite inspiring. Today is Manu, and we came out Manu. We're going to make it big and end it big. We started it big, and definitely it will end big and very, very big. Never mind, when you have an assistant beside you that probably eats at life, you may have him hitting the plates while I'm live. That is what makes the beauty of having an assistant within the studio. I want to Mike Onye, I'm sure you have some briefings and some details to give on Manu, why I mobilized to get people locked in. Thank you all very much for hosting us on Daunted. It was an amazing brief show. We hope next week for the next county we're going to have the officials and the executive come early so that we can have the pre-draft show much early, and we are not with the time we're supposed to be on the Zoom. Stop the stream right after the ladies are done with the briefings they have about Manu, and only come live. The president is addressing the nation. Why? Because we want everybody to be with us on Zoom. But we will ensure that those at the home front are watching on satellite. Thank you very much, Onye. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ta, and every other person that has been part of the recap and the pre-draft show this evening. All right, right about now, we'll have some other factors and the origin of Manyu County. Of course, you need to know so much about the area that you're drafting, especially if you haven't been opportune to know that, especially if you did not grow up in the home front. Yes. Now, Manyu County today is an area found in the Midland Zone portion of the southern Cameroon's equatorial rainforest region, precisely in the Cross River region along the Amazonian-Nigerian border. Now, it lies between latitude 5 degrees and 6 degrees to 30 north and longitude 8 to 6 degrees and 9 to 55 degrees east of the equator.
Well, the people of Manyu share common borders with Nigeria in the west, the Widokom people to the northeast, Nwe and Mundani people to the east, and the Umbo people to the southwest. The greatest land across the Manyu land is from Nchang in the west to Sabais in the east, a distance of 68.4 kilometers as the crow flies and approximately 97.6 kilometers by road. The greatest breadth is from Fatok in the south to Enyang in the north, which is 51.2 kilometers as the crow flies. Manfei is the county headquarters of Manyu County, and the total land area occupies approximately 65,488 square kilometers in the 4 subdivisions of Manfei Central, Akwaya, Yumoyok, and Upper Banyang of the Manyu County.
Now, before we bring you this Gap Edison's report, this is where we draw the curtains of our recap and our pre-draft show. But we are not leaving you empty. We are leaving you with this Gap Edison's report that I'm sure that you'll learn a thing or two. So, on behalf of Star Smart, we'd say good night.
The economy. The economy of the Manyu people was principally agricultural. However, in the past, the people also practiced other activities like fishing, hunting, poultry, animal husbandry, and trading. Agriculture was subsistent, the soil fertility in the area was low, and thus extensive forms of cultivation were widely practiced since the land was vast and unrestricted. The two most important food crops grown were cocoyams and plantains. There were also subsidiary crops like maize, beans, groundnuts, cassava, pumpkin, melon, pepper, yams, sweet potatoes, and capem, that is, local tomatoes. The techniques of cultivation were generally crude and rudimentary. A piece of land was roughly cleared, mostly at the beginning of the dry season, by men, who then allowed the rest of the work to be done by the women. The women then cleaned the ground, hoed it, and planted crops, except plantains, which the men tended. The only implements put into use were the women's hoes and men's machetes. Shifting cultivation and crop rotation were also practiced. Rights to land ownership were based on the principle which established that whoever cleared a virgin bush lay claim to it. This continued even after the land was left to fallow. In the Manyu land, food crops were grown solely for consumption, with the exception of the villages of Umbijang, Bachuakagbe, Bachuantai, Bisongabang, and Nchang, where some of the crops cultivated were marketed. Use was also made of a number of bush products, with most important being the palm kernels. The palm industry became very important to the Manyu people as a source of trade when the slave trade was prohibited by the colonial powers in the 19th century. The Manyu people were equally engaged in both the long and short distance trades in addition to farm cultivation. The short distance trade, which was carried out locally, involved the sale of foodstuffs and dried meat. The local people also participated in the long distance trade going through the grass fields of Cameroon to the lower Cross River Basin. They acted as middlemen, handling items like European cloth, guns, salt, ivory, and slaves from other areas in exchange for palm oil and palm kernels, which they produced. Other items of trade included foodstuffs, dried meat, dried fish, brass, traditional dresses, and even secret items. The most important trading villages were Tali and Ebuensuk. Part-time hunting and fishing were also performed in the area. Hunting was done mostly during the rainy season with the use of Dane guns, spears, clubs, bows and arrows, and planted traps in search of animals such as antelopes, porcupines, deers, elephants, and many other species of animals. The meat was either consumed locally or sold in the local markets. Fishing too was caught with the help of nets or wicked baskets as they were known, and the poisoning of water and the fish with specially grown leaves called bekwap. Other economic activities carried out by the Manyu people included the making of drums, the molding of pots, and the weaving of baskets and sleeping mats. Although the Manyu economy was subsistent in nature, they were generally considered to be lazy. It is, however, worth noting that in the society considerable emphasis was placed upon a man's wealth and upon the need to obtain wealth. One of the keynotes of community life was the individual quest for status, which was largely dependent upon the person's initiative and the qualities he exhibited, together with the wealth he commanded. Mamfe Council. Brief presentation of Mamfe. Mamfe Municipality is found in Manyu Division of the Southwest Province of Cameroon. It is located in the northern part of the southwest. It is about 74 kilometers away from the Cameroon-Nigeria border. The council shares common boundaries in the north with Akwaya Council, in the east and south with the Umoyo Council, and in the west with Tinto Council. The Mamfe Rural Council area is made up of 11 autonomous villages grouped into 4 clans: Bachuuntai, Besongabang, Egbeko, Eshobi, Etemetek, Enyangtui, Enyangnag, Mamfe Center, Marwan, Nchang, Mfaitoktu, Okoyong. Mamfe Town, which is the headquarters of Manyu Division, has extended from small Mamfe as the main village to parts of Besongabang and the Beku villages. The population is about 85,000 inhabitants over a surface area of 744 square kilometers, giving a population density of 114 persons per square. The indigenes of the Mamfe Council area are the Bayangs. Generally, there is a mixture of several Cameroonian tribes that inhabit the Mamfe Council area, but the domineering tribes include the Anyangs, Kenyangs, and tribes from Midland Zone, Bali, Banso, Widikum. The Igbeku village and small Mamfe village are the natives to pioneers of Mamfe Town. The inhabitants speak a Bayang language as their mother tongue, called Inyang, although English is the official language, spoken along with Pidgin and several other dialects, including Ejagam. The city is also noteworthy for the high proportion of Nigerians who live there. Historical profile of Mamfe. The name Mamfe comes from the Bayangi language. When Germans first arrived in the area via the Cross River, the Germans greeted a local man at the Beku River site who was carrying sand from the shore and tried interrogating him about where they were. The Bayang man didn't understand and only said in his dialect, "Mamfefa, where should I put it?" The Germans heard this as Mamfe and named the area so. Mamfe Municipal Council corresponds to the Mamfe local government area. Mamfe Town is the headquarters of Manyu County. Mamfe Rural Council started as far back as 1917 as Mamfe Native Authority. It was comprised of the present-day Nguti, Fontem, Widikum, Akwaya, Ayumoyok, Tinto, and Mamfe Central Council. In 1978, when Ayumoyok was created, it became Mamfe Rural Council. Tinto was later carved out in 1995 to let alone Mamfe Central. Before 1995, the colonial government appointed the municipal administrators. Gab Ellison reporting for Undaunted-ABC Amba News.
The Amba World Draft Award 22 is here. People, it's time to win again.
This is the time for us to draft until we draft. That must be our slogan and rallying cry now. And along the way, we should be asking ourselves some critical questions.
Are we still enjoying 3 square meals a day? While our boys on the ground lack the basic gear they need to resist the occupiers,
Are we still living a life of luxury and comfort while our brave restoration forces lack medical supplies at the home front?
are we still throwing big birthday bashes while our restoration forces lack basic communication equipment to maximize their efforts?
Are we still going on cruises and expensive vacations while our IDFs on the ground go without food and logistics?
Are we still finding excuses not to make the necessary sacrifices and drafting big while our restoration forces lack the game-changing equipment that they so desperately need to bleed the enemy?
On a daily basis, how much are we putting aside for our liberation, knowing that only through the fierce resistance are we going to liberate our beloved country?
Are we providing the federal government and the CIC the means to carry out some of the critical, intelligence and other special operations across the national territory?
As we ponder these questions, we must remember that a goal that is not funded is nothing but a wish. And we must not let Ambazonia die as a wish because we failed to fulfill our patriotic duties by making the great sacrifices befitting a great people.
The World Draft once more is coming to your county. Stand up and be counted. No greater victory was ever achieved than by greater sacrifices. We are enough, so let's draft, draft, and draft until we drop. Our existence as a people depends on that.
It is Award 22. Let us draft until we drop.